Vlad III, famously known as Vlad the Impaler, was born in 1431 in the fortified town of Sighisoara, which is now part of modern-day Romania. His father, Vlad II, carried the title Dracula after joining a powerful secret Christian military order known as the Order of the Dragon. The group's mission was to protect Christian Europe from the rising threat of the Ottoman Empire. Because of his father's title, Vlad became known as Dracula, which means son of the dragon. At just 11 years old, Vlad and his younger brother Radu were taken hostage by the Ottoman Empire. Their father had to hand them over to guarantee his loyalty to the Sultan. While in captivity, Vlad witnessed horrifying acts of cruelty. Executions, torture, and punishments were common sights for him. Radu, however, was treated kindly by the Ottomans. He converted to Islam and even became close to Sultan Mehmed II, who would later conquer Constantinople. But for Vlad, those years in Ottoman captivity built a deep hatred toward them, a hatred that would shape his entire life. When Vlad was finally released, he made it his mission to reclaim his father's lost throne in Wallachia. The region was politically unstable, with constant conflicts between Hungary, the Ottoman Empire, and local boyars, the powerful, noble families. Vlad had to fight multiple times to claim power, and when he finally succeeded, his rule was marked by extreme violence. Vlad's favorite method of punishment was impalement. He would have wooden or metal stakes driven through a person's body, often starting from the bottom and emerging from the mouth or chest. Victims would be left to die slowly, sometimes taking hours or even days to succumb to the pain. This brutal method wasn't limited to criminals or invaders. Anyone who betrayed him, disobeyed his orders, or even spoke against him could face this horrific fate. One of the most infamous moments in Vlad's rule came in 1462, when the Ottoman army led by Sultan Mehmed II invaded Wallachia. Vlad fought back with clever tactics. Knowing he couldn't defeat the massive Ottoman force in open battle, he used guerrilla warfare, ambushes, and night attacks. But what truly terrified the Ottomans was what they saw outside Vlad's capital, Târgoviște. As the Sultan's army approached the city, they found a forest of over 20,000 impaled corpses, Ottoman prisoners, traitors, and rebels, rotting in the sun. The gruesome sight reportedly horrified the Sultan and his soldiers so much that many turned back, refusing to continue. Vlad's cruelty wasn't reserved for invaders alone. He was equally ruthless with his own people. He once invited hundreds of boyars to a grand feast, only to arrest them during the meal. Some were impaled, while others were forced to march into the Carpathian Mountains and build a fortress called Panari Castle. Most of them died from exhaustion, hunger, or were executed once their work was done. That castle still stands today, abandoned but remembered for the bloodshed it witnessed. Despite these horrific acts, many Romanians today remember Vlad as a national hero. In a time when foreign empires threatened their land, they saw him as a strong, fearless leader who refused to bow down. He was a protector of his people, even if his methods were brutal. Vlad's life ended as violently as he lived. Some believe he was betrayed by his own men. Others claim he was surrounded by Ottoman forces and fought to the death. It's said that his severed head was sent to Sultan Mehmed II in Constantinople as proof of his death. Even after his death, tales of his cruelty spread across Europe. Western writers and scholars described him as a bloodthirsty tyrant, and his story slowly transformed into legend. In 1897, Irish author Bram Stoker took inspiration from these old stories to create Count Dracula, the vampire lord of Transylvania. Although Stoker's Dracula was a fictional character, he borrowed the name and dark reputation of Vlad the Impaler to shape his villain. Today, Vlad the Impaler remains one of history's most controversial figures. Some see him as a ruthless murderer, while others view him as a misunderstood hero forced to rule in violent times. But one thing is certain, his terrifying legend still haunts the world centuries later.